This is my speech, my narrative speech. That's my audience. It is small. It's important. Having the best 2 years of my life after a long 7-year downward spiral is the turnaround story that is my life. Before 2018, I was far from living my best life. I failed out of Mizzou in 2015, could hardly pass my classes at MCC Kansas City, couldn't keep a job, and was losing friends at every turn. I was under the grasp of a terrible substance abuse issue. But this isn't about those hopeless times. This is about the last 2 years and all I've accomplished in this time. In 2017, I met the love of my life, and it elevated me from this hopeless state of self-destruction and gave me something to care about. But I was still struggling some, until April 2 years ago, when I found out I was going to be a father. The first couple months, I just had to stabilize myself and get on track to rejoining society. I did this by applying for a couple jobs where I started working at Sprouts, which is pretty much a fresh time. In the same breath as getting a job, I checked myself into an outpatient program. Those were the easiest parts of this process. Establishing trust with my fiance and family to prove that I would stay on this path of sobriety was going to be even harder. And yet harder than this was to start believing in myself and keep myself on the straight and narrow. Against all adversity, I was able to navigate the first few months of my new life. And after this transition period, my life continued to improve from there. So there we were, happily living together, both working full-time and getting ready for the upcoming arrival of our son. I ended up getting a better job at Dillard's, where my fiance had worked for a couple months. We made enough to get everything we could need for our baby, and more. So come December 17th, 2018, when my son was born and our journey as parents began, we were confident and well-equipped. I continued to work at Dillard's, saving as much money as I could, and my fiance stayed home taking incredible care of our son. Together, we had a great 9 months of our pregnancy and an even better 6 months making memories together as a little family. Everyone in my life who was initially fearful I might slip into old habits became reassured by my work ethic and hands-on parenting. Now, with our son here and everyone, including myself, having restored faith, it was time to choose a better career path. The business her family started a year previous in Omaha felt like a no-brainer to us. In June of 2019, we moved up here to the Elkhorn area, where we have thrived and become healthier and happier than ever before. I started working at Citywide Maintenance of Omaha with her family and have become excellent at my job, making tons of commission and making our lives very comfortable here. I, as you can tell by the speech, enrolled back in school where I've passed every single class since my first quarter here, making the dean's list even. This alone has improved my self-esteem exponentially. But wait, there's more. Something I didn't mention about the first 15 months is that I redirected this addictive behavior to a food-focused mentality. So in that time, I may have gained about 70 pounds, to the largest I'd ever been. Now, since moving up here, I've dropped 40 of these pounds by eating a predominantly plant-based diet, not to say that I don't eat some junk food and meat at least weekly. Additionally, up until the pandemic, we had been taking turns watching the baby and going to the gym every single day. But that had to be replaced with taking walks and little at-home workouts and little dance parties. Now we are more financially stable, happier, as well as healthier than we or our family could have ever imagined 2 years prior. Overall, I would have never guessed someone, especially me, can make so much positive change in only 2 years' time. But I also couldn't have done it without having a son with the girl I love. The last 2 years have been a bit of a grind, and the first few months especially. Best of all, being the birth of my son, of course. Ever since finding out he was on his way, I have continued stepping up in pay through 3 different jobs into one where I now work with family. even moving states out of my comfort zone and away from all the negative associations of my past. Another great thing being taking care of myself better than I ever have by eating well, working out, and going back to school. I do all this to take care of my family, my fiance, and most of all, the son we have together, and watch and grow and change every day. Thank you.